Hello and welcome to the Damascus Encounter, the program where we share beautiful experiences and stories of individuals who have at one point or the other in their life's journey encountered Jesus. There is a time in life when it looks like we are in search of something, and the bid to find peace, to find God, to find money could make us travel long journeys. And the one who I have as guest on the show today will be sharing with us his experience in his quest to know God. Lawrence Eze, welcome to the Damascus Encounter.
Thank you very much, sir.
It's a joy to have you on the program.
Thank you.
You want to share with us a little bit the background or who Nlewemchi Lawrence Eze is.
Nlewemchi Lawrence Eze is from Mba Autonomous Community in Bende Local Government Area, Abia State of Nigeria. The dad of a family of 6. And my parents' names are Mr. Victor Ekwemonwu Eze and Mrs. Olejuru Grace Ekwemonwu Eze. As I said earlier, my father was just a peasant farmer, but added to that, he was a great hunter. So, every day in that little home, I can still remember that it was a very happy home. We didn't have money, but as far as food is concerned, we were rich.
There was plenty of it.
Yes, we were rich. And we did give out to some people that time that we felt needed some things to keep life going. So that was the kind of parents I heard.
And the home that you grew up in.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So you grew up in this home that is involved in idol worship.
Oh, yeah.
And yet today you are a Christian. So you want to share a little bit about the idol worship side, your father and idol worshiping?
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, my father, when we became a little of age, we discovered that he's into idolatry. Just at Ekana, by his sitting room, you find the shrine. And each morning, the first thing he will do is to wash his mouth. After washing his mouth, he will say some things to the idols, then drop the food for them before eating his own food.
So he shares food with the idols?
With the idols.
Even from what he is about to eat?
Exactly.
Okay.
Then after he had done that, myself and my immediate younger brother would just be looking at him. As soon as he left for farm, we would pick those foods and threw them away.
So you did this because you didn't know it was food for the God, or you just felt it was messing the environment up?
Not necessarily messing the environment. We right from the time we started growing up, I don't know the kind of, in fact, it is he that made us, that put that spirit in us. We felt it was not proper. Because you keep the food there. Tomorrow morning, as you have rightly said, it will mess up the whole place. It will be stinking. The idols were not eating it. So then why continue in such
okay, very practice? Interesting. I just wanted to know, so you take the food when he's gone to farm?
Exactly, we throw them away.
And you throw it away?
Yeah.
When he comes back, did he ever ask?
Oh yeah.
What happened to?
But as he's stepping into the house, we've already run away to the next neighbor's house.
Okay.
Believe you me, it got to a point he left for farm. Before he came back, the idols were no more. We threw them away.
Okay, we'll come to talk about that later because that seems like when eventually you became a Christian. So you, at some point in growing up, you had it a little rough getting your education.
Very rough.
And so you had to learn carpentry.
Yes.
Do you want to share a little bit about that?
Okay. What led me into learning carpentry was that we lost both parents early enough in life.
Both your father and mother?
And mother. Within the space of 2 years, we lost both of them. So by the time my father died, my mother was not strong health-wise.
Okay.
We were also managing her. That time, it is now I got to know what her problem was then. It was a kind of schizophrenia. Yeah. So when you are saying a different thing, you find her, you know, that kind of thing. So it gave us so much pain. But after some time, the woman passed on. So every one of us, the 6 children, apart from our eldest sister that got married, getting married into the hand of a man that already has built a family as a second.
As a second one, so went into polygamy.
The polygamy, thank you for giving me that word. So every one of us, the rest 5, we were just on our own. And because we were so small when our parents died, that my immediate younger sister, even when suitors were coming, never gave a thought to that. She said she would stay behind to see that we are brought up to an extent before she can leave the home. Of course, she married late.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just wanted you to share. So that was what made you. How did you not get into learning carpentry?
Carpentry, okay. He brought us up to that point. As she brought us up to that point, what happened was that my uncle now in Enugu decided to come for me. So he came and took me. As I was with him, he started considering, he didn't tell me he was considering the kind of handwork he would want me to go to.
Okay.
But one morning he just got up to tell me that he was sending me to a man to learn tailoring. While in my mind, my dream has been to go to school. So I said I wouldn't want to learn to be a tailor. So he invited one of our cousins who came and talked me into learning carpentry.
Okay.
I did the carpentry for 3 years. I graduated.
Apprenticeship.
Yes, apprenticeship. I graduated. By the time I graduated, he came and settled my master.
Okay.
And took me. By then he had left Enugu to Aba. We went back to Aba. I started practicing this carpentry. What made me to practice it for about 3-4 years was that I made sure that my elder sister at least attended a commercial school to be able to get something to do to
Some
help
form
herself.
of education.
Because, yeah, it was because of us she wasted so much time. When she could have got married, she didn't get married. Okay. So I said, let's use that to compensate her, myself and my immediate younger one.
Okay.
So by the time all these were going on, I decided to quit carpentry because it has been my dream to go to school and read mass communication.
Okay. You wanted to be a journalist?
Yes, a journalist. Moreover, as I was doing the carpentry job, I discovered I was having a kind of chest pain.
Chest pain.
So I decided I quit early enough. And that was why I left carpentry.
And so off to Lagos?
Yes, to Lagos.
From eastern part of Nigeria
exactly.
to the west.
A friend asked me to come. I came and put up with my friend.
Okay.
And as we were staying together, he told one of his friends that is a clearing and forwarding agent. He is doing that business till today, to take me to accept me as an apprentice. So I went into that. So one day, he gave me a document to sign. I went to sign it. The man that was to sign the document asked me, "This man, you are not supposed to be here. What are you doing here? You are not supposed to be here." So that gave me some kind of mental torture. he repeated it next day too. That was how I left Clarendon for until, by the grace of the Almighty Father, I was offered a messenger appointment with the Ministry of Defense.
The Ministry of Defense
yes,
in Lagos.
In Lagos, yes, Ikeja.
Okay. And so you worked with the Ministry of Defense for how many years?
For 10 years.
For 10 years?
Yes.
And in 10 years, you were able to raise the funds to get to school?
Well, it was very difficult because the salary was nothing. My salary then was 1,000 naira. So it was difficult for me to manage and pay for evening school.
All right.
So what I did was, each time I closed from work, because we work for 5 days, and on Wednesdays we will close by 2 o'clock, Friday 1 o'clock. So as I'm passing, I will enter Oshodi, go to the bookshops, pick some of those books like economics, government, commerce, just let me say arts.
Okay.
I picked those texts and started reading. I read for 2...
On your own?
Yes, on my own. I read for 2 years.
Okay.
Then I started writing exams. I wrote the first exam. I didn't get over what I want. I wrote a second one. It wasn't too good, but when I wrote the third one, I got my papers.
That was the General Certificate
of Education.
Okay.
So that was when I told my younger one, immediate younger one, that look, Seventh-day Adventist Seminary of West Africa has offered me admission to read religious studies. Then he said, oh, brother, I've been looking for a way to reach you. I have also been offered admission by APSU to read law. I said, wow. So you are going for extramural classes in Abada? He said, yes. That was why he took our last born when he told me he wanted him to be with him. So I said, if that is the case, let me wait. It is my duty as an elder brother to have sent you to school. But since we are trying to struggle it out, the same time you go, let me hold on. So I waited for him to graduate. By the time he graduated and finished law school, that was when I had the opportunity. Then my family has started growing. But I told my wife, it's better we suffer now than to have these children just to be like us. So she gave me the support. That was how I came to Babcock University. I'm a product of Babcock University.
And you got a degree from Babcock University?
Oh, by his special grace.
Okay. So we'll come back to talk about your journey and experience through life and your quest to find God in the midst of the struggles through life which you had to go through. Don't go away, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Damascus Encounter. Our guest on the show today has been Nlewemchi Lawrence Eze, who has been sharing his experience on his quest for education and, most importantly, his quest to find God. Lawrence Eze, do you want to talk a little bit about, after being Seventh-day Adventist, you already sang with the choir, you were a member of the choir, but you still felt this void inside of you, something that needed to find satisfaction. You want to share with us?
Oh, yes. At a point in life, there was this sister that lived very close to us in the village. She made me to step into the Christian church for the first time, and her church was Assemblies of God.
Okay.
When she took me to that, to Assemblies of God, yeah, I really enjoyed their mode of worship. But after that, our eldest uncle, who secured a job with Seventh-day Adventists, I was told got converted when the Seventh-day Adventist Church came for evangelism in my village.
Okay.
So, was the one who started telling us on the right day of worship that is why he became an Adventist. And from our little Bible stories we began to see the light. But all through the years that I was with my uncle, I was okay that I found myself in the right place. But when I left the eastern part of the country to the west, Lagos precisely, at a point I felt there is something that is lacking in me, because the quest to see God, to know God, to find out who this God really is, became a burden to my soul. To the point that I was trying at all costs to satisfy that quest. Then one day I closed from work, from Nigerian Air Force, that's the Ministry of Defense. Going home, I got to Ikeja bus stop. As I was crossing to join a car to Oba, yeah, that's where I lived then.
All right.
Then I saw a poster by the bridge. Attention, attention, attention. There is going to be a religious retreat on so and so day. Come there, you are going to meet a perfect living master. So, wow, this is good. I picked up my pen and started scribbling some things, the address and time and the day. So I went home. As I was pondering on that, the next 2 days I met a friend before the date that told me, oh, if that is your problem, I'm going to take you to a place. Meet me the next day, and that was a Wednesday. Okay. I'm going to take you to a place. So I didn't even know he was taking me to Summit Lighthouse. And Summit Lighthouse, the founder is Saint Germain. Saint Germain is believed that he knows everything, and he does not die.
Okay.
In fact, some places they describe him as the perfect alchemist. So I went there. Really, I saw some terrible things. Remember, my quest has been to know God.
To know God, yes.
I said, I don't think I can find. So many things are happening here, but I don't think it's the right place for me. I left Saint Germain and went to anthroposophy. Anthroposophy believes that the dead can speak to the living. It was a fantastic experience. By the time you get into some of these places and they give you a mantra, by the time you begin to chant the mantra, if you know what you are doing within the first 10, 15 minutes, you leave the body. I just thank God I didn't die in anthroposophy, because there was a day I found myself entering the ground. From there, I started moving to a place and saw a little stream. Anybody that comes will just run up the hill. People from this side will come and fetch water. People from this side will, but I was trying to climb the hill. It was a difficult task. Till a man came and took me up. They showed me a place. Getting to that place, believe you me, I said I will not go back again. They started pleading with me, please go, please go. I said, no, I will not go back. Finally, in anger, I came back. The next time I went to such a place, I saw a working class lady coming back from work with her handbag. There was a street market. This lady picked up some fruits there, put into her bag, and was going. I was following her. Before I got to like where that camera is, there was a big gate with a smart door. So the gate just opened, and one man with a wheelbarrow came out and threw away some refuse and went back. Then this other lady entered the gate, and the gate closed. I was about to enter. They said no. I carried a big stone and hit that place. I just thank God for saving me from anthroposophy. I came out from anthroposophy and went to Super Lighthouse. It was the same experience. From Super Lighthouse, I went to Santa Cassine. Going to Santa Cassine, also it was the same experience, because that time I noticed that the Lord has started warning me. One day I was attending that because they are fully vegetarians. So it made me, since I was vegetarianism, I thought it was a very nice place for me. But I noticed that nothing is there. Finally, there are many, but finally, let me take Santakasin. I saw Santakasin's post on Ikeja too. They said he's a perfect living master, that we should come, that everything we want will be made available when we come to the feet of the perfect master. So I went there. I said, this is the right place I will find God. Believe you me, when they slot in the what do you call it, the CD of that man, you will feel that heaven is dropping on you. But one day, you know, we conduct there what they call public satsang, like we have potluck in Seventh-day Adventist Church. We invite our friends. Every food that is to be eaten is purely vegetarian. And we have little kids to share the prasad, that's what they call it. Okay. So by the time these children will share the food, you'll be happy, everybody will be happy, you go. But one day, a sister came from Jerusalem. As he was coming, it's like he entered India and picked a book titled The Life of St. Paul.
Okay, The Life of St. Paul.
Yeah. So people were rushing to just to have a taste of that book, to read and find out what it's talking about. The first day I couldn't get it. The second day I couldn't get it. But the third day, I was about to put my name there. Our leader came out to tell us, to tell the man that already had the book, make sure it doesn't get lost. It is only a copy that we have. And the only people that can read and understand this book are the Seventh-day Adventists.
Those are the ones who can read
and understand the book. As Seventh-day Adventists. Then, that was a very big shock to me. The very first shock I had was when I went to Sai Baba. They will bathe the statue with all this milk and all the rest of things, and you'll be getting water that is running from the head of that statue, drinking for good luck. My mind also asked me, is it luck that you want or you want God? The other mind told me, man, you are worshipping idol. That was one of the things that made me to leave Sai Baba and went to Santakasin. But getting there, another shocker of my life came. Seventh-day Adventists are the only ones that can read and understand this book perfectly. Then I asked myself, what am I doing here? That was how I made a turnaround. Coupled with maturity, I discovered that I have everything I need in Seventh-day Adventist. I started giving myself wholly to the Almighty Father, my Creator, asking Him for the light, and He has been doing some wonderful work in my life.
So basically, you found out that what you were looking for, you had it all along.
Exactly.
But yet you had to go after so many experiences in your quest to find God, even when you already had Him.
That is just it.
So after this, you decided to stay put and stay with God, and God has been blessing you.
He's been doing some wonderful things in my life, and not just in my life, in the life of my family.
That's interesting to know. And after you finished with, settling down with God in the Seventh-day Adventist Church, today you work as a producer in Adventist World Radio.
Sure.
And you make programs to help people come to Jesus.
By His special grace.
And that gives you a lot of joy, I guess.
A lot of joy indeed.
Okay. So you want to share a little bit about your experience with bringing people to Christ and through programs on the airwaves?
Oh, thank you very much. That's a very important aspect of the whole thing. As a producer in Adventist World Radio, it gives me joy. Remember, I said my dream was to be a journalist.
Yeah.
But because of age, I had to go into religious studies because I considered myself too old to practice the kind of journalism that has been in my mind. So, but you know, the way God works
in mysterious ways.
So He finally brings me to Adventist World Radio. Through this Adventist World Radio program, I think testimony upon testimonies have been coming. People are really finding God. Some time ago, the kind of problems we handle in Adventist World Radio is not what we just have to let open to the public. If you want to have a taste of it, you come inside and find out. But I have to tell you that a man had a baby some time ago and asked Seventh-day Adventist World Radio to name the baby.
You had a baby and asked you to name
the baby. That's it's in Yola.
Wow, that's wonderful.
We did that.
So, okay, so
people are coming. There was a man sometime after listening to Adventist World Radio program. He asked me if we need a piece of land in Nsukka. That he's been touched by the program.
By your program?
Yeah.
And was willing to give a piece of land.
Yes.
Anyway, that's very interesting, and I just want to thank you and thank God for your experience. You wanted to be a journalist in life, and somehow, after a very long journey, God brought you exactly to do what you wanted to do. But now you are being a journalist for Jesus. You speak on the radio.
Thank you very
and
much.
Lives are being touched and transformed.
Thank you very
Thank you very much for being on the program today.
Thank you very much.
We have just shared and listened to the story of Nnewemchi Lawrence Eze and his encounter with Jesus as a journey through life, looking for God and wanting to find fulfillment in serving Him. And today he's found that fulfillment in producing programs at Adventist World Radio and also serving God with absolute peace of mind. We want to thank you for being a part of the program today, hoping that same time when we come your way again, you will be our guest as we bring you another interesting story that I'm sure will be a blessing to your life. And until then, I want to say God bless you and keep watching.